Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for Dracula, the original 1931 English version of Dracula. And the reason I say English, it's because back then in 1931, they used to do a double feature where they showed the original English version and normally another version of it in another language, normally being Spanish, French, German, or Italian. So, yeah, and this movie stars Bela Lugosi, Helen Chandler, David Manners, Dwight Fryer, Edward Van Sloan, Hector Bunston, Francis Dade, Joan Standing, Charles K. Jared Gerard, and yeah, and yeah. Now, very fast before I actually get to the 10-second rule, I was actually when I was in theater. This was actually supposed to be a double feature where they showed the Dracula, the one I'm gonna review right now, as well as the Spanish version of Dracula, appropriately titled Dracula. With the accent with the U, Dracula. Um, Sadly enough, though, yeah, and it was the original 1931 Spanish edition. So yeah, sadly though, in the theater something happened with the projector and they couldn't show the Spanish version. So it sucks. So that I couldn't watch the Spanish version. I do want to watch it eventually now, but whatever. So yeah, but again, this is only going to be the English version. So yeah, I think I should specify that when I title this Dracula 1931 English edition, or maybe just 1931. Fuck it. So yeah, before I begin, no 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch. For those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Oh, okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning, as usual, I did. Yeah, and very fast, if you haven't noticed, I am a bit sick, so, kind of deal with it, sorry. Just trying to get a few horror movie reviews in, as it is Halloween. So yeah, so as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So basically in this movie, you have this guy called Reinfield, so yeah, something like that. And he's going up to Transylvania to meet with Dracula, this Dracula character now. Now, he doesn't exactly know that he's a vampire. He has an idea of what vampirism is, but he doesn't exactly know what it is. So, this Reinfield guy goes over to Transylvania, Dracula's castle, and Dracula poisons him, basically, and he's knocked out. Reinfield's dead, I guess you could say. He's knocked out, let's just say, go with that. And we assume that Dracula drained his blood and whatever, and got whatever information he needs off him. So now Dracula decides to go where this Reinfield character was from, which is England. And he's basically now causing havoc there, biting a few of the locals, biting a few of the locals there. We see him, go up to this one peasant, I guess you could say. She's poor, she's peasant, she's trying to get money. Dracula bites her, and he's trying also to get in touch with some of the higher upper class rich people of London. He manages to befriend these two women and one guy, and they kind of run this mental institution. And one of the patients, I guess, there knows a lot about Dracula, so he's trying to warn these rich people about Dracula and who he is and whatever. Dracula manages to bite one of the women there, and all hell kind of breaks loose with this woman now kind of acting mysterious and whatever. Eventually, they do go back to Transylvania. They all manage to get back to Transylvania, and Dracula is killed. The end. So yeah, now I will say I was a bit disappointed with this film. Yeah, I just recently watched Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is another Universal monster movie. Again, one of those pinnacle monster movies, and I feel like Creature from the Black Lagoon was better than Dracula, believe it or not. Now that's not to say that Dracula was a bad film. It was actually a pretty good film, but I just felt like overall it felt a bit rushed, in my opinion. Just the transition, just the way it was transitioned, just felt a bit rushed. And as a whole, the whole movie felt rushed. Sorry for the sneezing or coughing. Now the acting is pretty good. Bela Lugosi as Dracula, he does a pretty good job in my opinion. He's obviously the pinnacle Dracula. When you think of Dracula, you normally think Bela Lugosi, either that or Gary Oldman in the 1990 version of Dracula. What is it, 1997? Yeah, but for me, when I think I hear Dracula and I think Bela Lugosi, Bela Lugosi. So obviously he did a great job and he's iconic. As for the other characters here, they're pretty decent. They're plausible. They're for what they are, for what is needed out of those characters. They're pretty good, and the actors who portray them, for the most part, do pretty good. But overall, this movie's just okay. It's pretty good. There's nothing really special about it, in my opinion, which is really sad because it's considered it's considered one of the pinnacle horror movies, one of the best horror movies out there, and it's not extremely horrific, not even for the time, in my opinion. It's more of a thriller type of movie. It's not really like thriller, suspense movie. It's not really horror movies. So, overall, though, pretty good. It has some pretty good writing, pretty good acting. I just feel like it's a bit forgettable as a whole. Like, aside from Dracula and the Reinfeld character from the beginning, I can't really and Van something. What is it? Not Van Halen. Why am I thinking Van Halen? There's the one guy. They've made movies about him too, which is funny. The Doctor Van something. Shit, what's his name again? Van Houston. Not Van Houston. Van Halen. Van Helsing. Yeah, aside from Dracula, Van Helsing, and the Reinfeld characters, I can't really name another character in this movie. So yeah, I mean, I do feel like it is a bit forgettable, and I feel like it's a bit rushed. And I was watching this with a friend, and it just kind of ended. They kill off Dracula. Other characters make sure they're all right, and it kind of just ends. And my friend's like, well, the ending was abrupt. I have to agree, it did feel like an abrupt ending. And yeah, I just kind of felt, again, I just feel like it was a bit rushed. So yeah, but overall, though, still a pretty good movie. I think I'd recommend it to watch it at least once. If you like movies, if you like horror movies, I think you should watch Dracula at least once, okay? Just to see how it is. And yeah, overall, it's still a pretty good movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'm going to be a little bit generous and give it a 7 out of 10. Just because it is such a classic, and, times do change. I'm pretty sure this was way more horrific back when it came out, but nowadays it's more of a, I wouldn't say drama movie, but that's more or less what it's kind of become. More of a drama movie, and I think it's more of a horror drama movie, or it's supposed to be more of a horror drama movie, maybe with a bit of thriller and suspense. But now it's just kind of become a drama movie with a little bit of horror elements. So I am going to be a bit generous and give it a 7 out of 10. So yeah, it's still a pretty good movie nevertheless. Yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you have seen it, what are your thoughts on it? Comment on that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.